Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. There is no single type of player. No single type of player. Now, one of the things I'm seeing out here, and especially, you get somebody who don't know, they'll comment and they'll say, well, this person's a player or this person don't look like a player and anything like that. First of all, there's no single type of player. In fact, I talk about, like I'm known for talking about Mr. Goodbar types, but I've also on several occasions talked about several Goodbar clans. See, the thing is, there are different styles of getting women. Now, people know me for body game, but I've specifically said, and even though I said it works very well, I said, you know what? There's some other styles out there that might work. Because here's the thing. You get some guys, they just going to be just so physically, facially attractive. They're going to get attention, and if they know how to use it. But as I always say, that's only a small percentage, because if you look at players overall, most of them are not fashion models. In fact, I talked about that in my book, A Player's Eyes. I said a lot of them wouldn't stand out in a crowd on just a pure physical basis, but you do have some. So that's one type. Okay, you got the fine men, the handsome, really handsome men. They use that as their bait. But then you got somebody else. You got the muscle men. They might not have that face, but they got those muscles. They stand out, but that's their bait. And then, regardless of whether they have a mouthpiece or even a face men, have a mouthpiece or something, they still get, theirs. But then you got some dudes, they might not have, the face or the body that stands out, but they fix up what they got. But the thing is, they got style like a champ. They got style. That's their thing. They got that style. And then, there's some will have that mouthpiece. Some of them have that charisma, that gift of gab. They can chop it up. You put them any place on a planet and they can chop it up. Even such a gift of gab, they can't even speak the language, but they can communicate body language and facial expressions and stuff like that and everything. And then I'm gonna tell you what, you got some dudes out there, they don't look like they should get anything physically. They don't have a face, they don't dress well, they looked at Bron's body game video and they were either like, man, I ain't doing all that. Some were probably eating some ribs or something while they were having. I'm gonna get into that ribs thing in a second. They were probably eating some ribs or something though, right? And shoot, in fact, you could call them homely. You can call them homely. In fact, there was a book I mentioned several times, No More Mr. Nice Guy. It was a work of fiction by this brother, C. Kelly Robinson. And he actually mentioned that. He said homely men with the charisma of 10 men. And that's shoot. And shoot, I love that statement. I've used it myself sometimes. Because have you ever seen that dude and he's busted, got whack clothes and everything, but he got the charisma of 10 men. And in fact, that's why I say sometimes people have this stereotype, but there's nothing. Like I knew this dude, he was a straight up player. In fact, we worked together. And this is before smartphones and all of that. And this dude would come walking up and everything. And he'd be having all these pieces of paper, putting them out on the desk. And I wondered how he dressed. Seriously, I wondered how he dressed in the morning. Because I was like, dude, do you have a mirror? But he was getting women like crazy. I was watching them. The women on the job, they were calling him a player. I think he got with a couple of them too. But here's the thing, it's different styles. Some dudes, their game is just being cool. They just real cool. They can just click. That's part of the charisma thing. One of the things, sometimes people have an archetype. Like, okay, you got all these people talking about looks maxing and everything, looks maxing. Yeah, you got some guys out there, they not players. I mean, they barely getting women, but yeah, you could say they look good. That style hasn't worked for them. It's not automatic. See, too many guys think it's just one thing. And remember what I said earlier about that eating those barbecue ribs. I've known several big man players. Big man game ain't no joke. You be seeing, seriously, people be seeing, thinking, oh, well, you gotta be all slim and stuff. Where y'all live? You be seeing some big men with some fine ass women. Yeah, you know, yeah, they can stand and lose some weight. Like when I say big man, usually some guys, they, you know, they usually maybe I say minimum 5'10", taller than average. Now here's another thing too. Let's jump into that. Notice I said taller than average, but that's big man game. They physically big, women feel them. But then somebody say, well, it's because they tall. But I've known several short statured players and stuff. There's no single type. In fact, a book I always talk about, Swoon. And I'll put a link in the description box. Again, if you go through her book, this woman is talking about different types of players. She talks about different types of styles and everything. Different types of styles. See, that's the thing. You see, one of the things, don't get stuck. In fact, anybody who's read my book, Nice Guys and Players, know I talk about Jim. And that's a real person. The only thing he said when he read it, he was like, Rom, yeah, you got a great book and everything, but Rom, don't have him think I'm drinking. He said, Jim said, don't take advice from somebody drunk. Actually, that was a little inside joke because he can't hold his liquor. But I'm gonna tell you what, and I've said it several times, if I can get him, I need to reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a few years and stuff. But this dude's just straight player. He was straight player. But here's the thing. His height was 5'8". His height is 5'8". And even though he's like maybe a couple months older than me, he's still getting women like crazy. 5'8". Body game, he was athletic, but more on the stocky side. He was never cut. Never dressed well. Had the same haircut now as he did when I met him when we were 10 years old. So it was like, the barber don't do it. He's never had a fade, any fly thing, never dressed well, 5'8". Women used to camp out for that dude. I mean, I've seen women fight over that dude. That dude's gone through families. I'm like, shit. And shoot, I know a couple guys like that. I know of a player, shoot, dude is short stature, big old belly. Had the nerve to put his, take pictures with his belly. I was like, ugh, women be going crazy over. See, here's the thing. It's different styles. See, and this is why it's different styles. It's different women. One of the things is, too many men think women all responding to the same thing. They're not. Even with body game, what if I say it several times? Get your best body. Get your best body. In fact, video I'll link when me and cousin T-Tall were talking about the different body types. You know, we were talking about it. Yeah, for dude tall, muscular and all that, but then some women just want that kind of roughneck. They want that type of body. It depends on the woman. So if women have different body preferences and physical preferences, then they're gonna have different preferences as far as personality too. Some women like that quiet, mysterious person. They like that dude's kind of quiet and all that. I remember a woman, when I was in school at AU, she was looking at this guy, quiet guy. He would be called an incel. She was looking at him, he's sitting there and all quiet and everything. She said, Rom, I wanna fuck him. And this dude, he was like, but that could work for him. See, that's why I say try. Which women are responding to what you got? Like for your body, which women like your body? Every woman ain't gonna like your body, but which women do? Focus on them. Which women you click with personality-wise? Which women are, they responding to you being gregarious? Which women like your style? Whatever you offering. And see, because they're different women, there's different types of players. And if you actually look at, I don't care who the player is, he might be that type, say he been with 100 women. That's still a drop in the ocean. And I'm gonna tell you something. Here's something that players do have in common. I don't care whatever their style is. They figure out who wants them and they leave it at that. Seriously, that's all you have to do. You figure out who's gonna respond to you and stuff. That's part of the tribe thing. Now, of course, I get plenty of people say, well, how do I find my tribe? Pay attention to which women are who giving you some attention. Like, Those nice, well, I get, you know what? I get attention personally from two types of women, primarily. One, like a woman with a pretty face and kind of slim body, and maybe a woman whose face is more average, but she got the big old butt dunk and stuff. Now, the other types, it's hit or miss. Any women that don't fall in there, but it's never fails. A woman got a fat ass, she's friendly. I don't know what it is. She can be size 2, she can be size 20. And I mean fat round, not just big, but nice ass. Or a very pretty face. It's weird. Somebody say, Ron, you lucky and everything. Hey, it works. But here's the point though. There's no single type. Find your style and stuff. Cause seriously, I've seen dudes, see, don't get stuck into thinking, oh, this is the player. Get off of that. Get off of that. Because when you get stuck, you actually hurt yourself. Cause that might not be you. Because you get some guys, they try and be a specific type. That might not be them, you know? Trust me, there's a lot of women, shoot, they ain't checking for your swag, they checking for your intellect. But then you got some women definitely checking for swag, but then you got some women, they checking, you better have some muscles. But then you got some other women, shoot, they want you big and stuff, look like you can pick them up and twirl them around. And then, of course, you got some women, hey, you need to be slimmer for them. And then you gotta have different types of stuff. So that's the key, okay? So anyway, that's it for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.